Hi all, I wanted to make a quick video about some indicators that we can use for long-term investing. Before I begin, I would like to mention that this is an educational channel. All content over here is for the sake of education. So kindly read the disclaimer that you see on the screen and in the description below. With that said, let's proceed. So this is a follow-up video to a video I had made earlier. I've been trying to refine that strategy a little further. So I've made some changes. The changes are primarily at with the bottom indicators. For people who have seen my earlier video, this is more like a follow-up to that. For people who have not seen that video, this is something that you can consider from scratch. All right. So by long-term investing, I mean anything that is over 2 years. For people who have got a 2 to 5 year perspective or even longer than that. This is not for people who are looking at 2 months, 3 months, which in my view is short-term swing for that. I mean, the appropriate pages would be if you're looking at weekly or daily or monthly at the most. But in this, we are looking at 3 monthly graphs or 3 monthly bars. So every candle that you see on the screen is a 3-month candle. All right. So let's dive a little bit into it and see what happens when a particular stock hits a certain level and then it just becomes a rocket post. That what's that point from which things just take off. So the indicators that we'll be using is, first indicator is 52-week high and low. There's nothing special about this. I think I've only changed the high and low color. Apart from that, nothing else. You can just type in 52-week high and low and this will come up. So by backtest through key, just click on that and it'll show you the 52-week high and low. Save it to your favorites by clicking the star button. So it basically does nothing. The only thing I think I've changed is I've made this a dark green on top and red at the bottom. And it's dotted. Maybe you can use straight line or whatever. It's just a line basically. All right. And I've used the thickness of 4 over here just so that it's a lot more visible for me. The next one is simple moving average, SMA. In some platforms, it's just called a moving average. On some platforms, it's called a simple moving average. So the length is at 15. Color is your choice. I'm using an orange kind of a color. This line that you see going up, you can use any color you want. I'm using orange with the thickness at 2. All right. Then I'm using Fibonacci pivots, which is actually the indicator is pivot point standard. I'll just show it to you. So this one, pivot point standard. It's a standard indicator. That's why there is no author name. It's pivot point standard. Once you click on that, you will get this something like this. From there, you just got to, from traditional, you got to choose Fibonacci. From time frame, you got to choose the last one, which basically is a 10-year view of things. All right. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's decennially. So decen, it's more like a decade. The 10-year kind of view. That's to my understanding. Number of pivots back, I've checked 1. And colors are your choice. You can choose any color you want and save it. All right. When you're using Fibonacci, it only shows up to S1, R1, R2, R3, 4 and 5. Fibonacci does not show. In traditional, it will go and show you 4 and 5 also. So I'll just change this 4 and 5 colors because anyways, they're not coming on my screen. So I'll just make it some other color so that it's easier for you to understand. And this I'll make bright yellow. So you can see these colors are not coming on the screen. What I'm getting on the screen is this red one, which is over here, which is the pivot. S1, which is these two yellow. S1 and R1. Then S2 and R2, which are these two blue. And S3 and R3, which are these two white. All right. 4 and 5 don't come on the Fibonacci. So these are my settings. You can also save them. You can show labels. If you click on this, it'll tell you R3 or R2, whatever it is. All right. So save the settings. I'll save this also, save as default. And whenever I use this, now it'll come up this way. The last one is volume. This sometimes it's a little disturbing. So keep it over here. but generally when you're going through charts, you don't need to keep it on. Only when you're further researching, it's better to keep it on, because you want to see the kind of volume that is happening. Is it in a green phase? Because you need to enter when it's in a green phase, like over here. You can see it's all greens, no reds. All right. Then at the bottom, we are using MACD, and our settings are 8, 21, 5. This is the main setting, which I've been using for the last couple of days. Was mentioned in one of the comments by one of our viewers, and I took note of that. He had written a long mail on settings, and the only thing that stayed in my head is this MACD setting, because it was simply fabulous. Other things I didn't find so useful. In fact, I found another indicator that works with this MACD more useful, and I replied back to him that with your MACD setting, try and use this. It works like magic. All right, so this MACD 821.5 is simply beautiful. So I'm using 821.5. My style settings are histograms. I don't use. MACD is fluorescent green, signal is purple, and zero line is red. And I have saved that as default. So every time I click on this, it comes up like this. These are the main settings, 8, 21, and 5. Make sure it's on that. And then I'm just using RSI, where I'm using RSI only for the middle band, which is at 50. This gray color line that you see over here, which is nothing but the white color at the 4th level on thickness 1. I don't want it very bright, so I'm using the 4th one. And I'm using the center line, which is at 50. All right. As you can see over here on the RSI, nothing else is ticked. Maybe you can tick this so that it shows that you're on 50. I think it should show. Or maybe it doesn't. It doesn't, so it does not matter. You can uncheck these also. So now that you see all of this, there are two things that need to happen for a stock to become a rocket. All right. First of all, the green should be above the purple in MACD. Second is, it needs to be above the 50 line. That is the RSI 50 line. Forget about this MACD 0 line at the bottom. It needs to be above the RSI 50 line. That is good enough for the stock to rally. But for it to really become a rocket, it needs to cross the R3 on Fibonacci. Once the R3 on Fibonacci is crossed, generally two things will happen. Either it'll retrace once and go sideways for a couple of months and then become a rocket, or it'll straight away become a rocket. All right. For example, I can show you. Before I go to this 500 chart, let me just go to few stocks that I'm currently checking. You can see this DLF. Its lifetime high was done in 2018, where it touched some 1200 rupees or something. All right. Then it's a big crash. Then you see it starts rising again post-COVID, and it crosses the 50% line over here. MACD crosses the 50% line on April 21, which is okay to get into the stock, because the stock price is somewhere over here at that point of time at 286 rupees. Then it climbs up and goes up till here to about 437 rupees, basically almost doubles. Then it comes crashing down again. All right. But the magic happens when it crosses the R3. It crosses the R3 at about 566 rupees levels and immediately rockets to 900 rupees. Hits a high of 959 or 960 and then is over here somewhere. Same things happen to, I think, Lux also. I think something. Okay, Lux, I think there's not enough data. So look at HAL. This just crossed R3 and went up like a rocket. Look at Page Industries. The best of Page Industries is yet to come. The first run happened over here. You see, it crossed the green, is up going, is above the purple, and it crosses the 50% mark. The stock is somewhere over here at about 18,000 levels. Once it crosses, it first goes till here, which is about 35,000. So almost doubles. In what period? It almost doubles in a period from 2017 to 2018. So in 1 year, it almost doubles. All right. Then it falls again. Then it again crosses the 50% mark on the RSI, and the green is above the purple in July 21, which is somewhere over here. In July 21, the price is somewhere approximately about 32,000 rupees. From there, it rockets up to 54,000 rupees. So it's about 60-70% return, I suppose. Then it comes on the way down. Now it may go further if there's more correction in the market. As you know, the markets have been quite volatile, so it may correct. But remember, the next time it crosses and makes a good move up, and whenever it crosses this R3, it will go up like a rocket. Let's look at MRF. Why is MRF so strong recently? MRF is so strong recently because it doesn't seem to fall, much. MRF, whatever happens, it keeps the whole mid-cap Nifty in good shape because MRF does not fall too much. Why does not it fall too much? Because I think statistically the people know it's already green is above the purple. It's already above the 50% line on the RSI, and it has crossed the R3 mark over here. Crossed, and it's consolidating. Believe me, one good positive bull run comes, and don't be surprised if this stock even goes to 2 lakh rupees from here. I won't be surprised. Personally, I won't be surprised. All right. Bata India is it witnessed the first break over here in October 2018. From 18, when it was about what was the price? Somewhere about 1,000 rupees. So 2018 to 19, within 1 year, from 1,000 it went up to about 1,800. So 70-80% return it gave. Then it again started falling. Again, when Bata turns and when it goes above this 50% line, that will be the time to enter Bata again. Procter and Gamble showing some signs of turning. VIP, it's on the way down. We need to wait for it to turn. Look at Godrej Properties. The first time it cut the 50% mark, MACD was above. Green was above the purple, was over here. The stock was at about 1,350 rupees. From there, it climbed up to 2,600, so almost doubled. Then it came down. It again crossed the 50% mark over here in October 2023, which is last year. It's not even a year. While it was crossing, it was about 1,725 rupees or 1,750. But this time, it was above R3, so it's just straight away went up like a rocket from 1,700 to almost 3,400, almost doubled in less than a year. October of this year will make it a year. We are not even there right now. We have just started August, September. So in 10 months, it doubled. All right. DLF I've already discussed. So Balakrishna, let's see over here. Balakrishna. It can go up further. ICICI. Some charts don't have the data for a very long period, so we can't discuss. Apollo Tires above R3. See, the thing to note is some will be on their first run, some will be towards their second run. All right, remember that. Grasim, look at Grasim. The first time it crossed this 50% mark over here in July 21, the stock was at about 1,650. It tried to cross the R3, could not sustain, fell down. This is a unique example. But over here in RSI, it did not fall. So people who would have hung on and accumulated would have been very well rewarded when it broke the R3 over here at about 1,800 rupees and then went all the way to 2,800 rupees. So that's about a 65% return, I suppose, in less than a year. When did it break the R3? July of last year. Okay, now we are in August. So in little over a year, it broke and almost gave 65% return. Not enough data, not Coromandel. See, it's above the 50% mark on the RSI. Once it breaks the R3 on Fibonacci, it goes up like a rocket. Boom. So this Fibonacci R3 I use even when I look at things on the daily chart when I'm intraday trading, because once it crosses R3, even intraday on the 5-minute time frame, then things don't generally come back. Once it crosses R3, it will keep going. It takes some time to cross R3, but once it generally crosses, then it does not come back. I'll try to find some names that I know. I'm not familiar with all these stocks. I'm basically an intraday trader. Sometimes I do long-term chart analysis, so I'm sharing my long-term chart analysis view with you. Look at this ONGC over here. Crosses the 50% mark on the RSI and becomes a rocket. In July 20 last year, it crossed this, and that time the stock was at about 186. From 186, it's currently at 344, so almost doubled. Oil India, it crosses the 50% mark over here. And the best part is it crosses with the R3 breaking out at about 270 rupees. It breaks out and then it's crossed 600 rupees. So almost 160, 170% in a year's time. Not bad at all. This is that one of those great exceptions where R50% and R3 on the Fibonacci is breaking at the same time. Look at this Coal India. Why is Coal India still climbing? Because it's above 50% on the RSI and it's yet to break the R3. So don't be surprised if Coal India goes breaking this R3 and keeps going further. I will not be surprised if Coal India crosses even 700-800 rupees. These, when you don't, there's no need. I mean, one can say fundamentally it becomes too expensive, this, that, and all of that. Well and good. But remember, these charts now, they don't follow any fundamental things. When a stock is going up, all fundamentals go up in thin air. Look at this Castrol. This has already now finally come to its 2014 high. After 10 years, it's come to this high. And now it is giving a 50% breakout. It has given somewhere over here at 232. It's currently at 255. Believe me, whatever now up and down happens, but the next time the market becomes bullish, I think this Castrol will go up like a rocket. The another one is look at this Aarti industry. The first time it went above this 50% was somewhere over here. It was at about 450 rupees. All right, somewhere over here in July 20. Then it went all the way up to 1,000 rupees in 21. 1 year it doubled. Then it started falling again. Now you see the good part is it's above R3 already. It just needs to cross this 50% mark and the green needs to be above the purple when it does that. And this will also become a rocket and probably just skyrocket to 1,000 once again very quickly. All right. So I generally don't, let me just do this alphabetically so that I can find stocks easily. Let's look at SPOLA. Another example, you see, crosses the 50% mark in April 21. After that, does not look back. Here it crosses the 50% mark. Look at the bottom. Green is above the purple, crosses the 50% mark, is at 1,000 rupees, 977 rupees approximately. From there, it is now 1,500 rupees. Not bad. In 3 years, it's doubled. Some will double in less than a year, some will take more time. Look at this. Colgate Palmolive was struggling at 1,500 rupees for a long time. I remember this stock. This struggle over here was for a very long time, 1,500-1,600 rupees. All after COVID, for a long time, it was struggling over here. But look at it. It crosses the 50% mark over here in, I think last year only, in October 23. It crosses this. At the same time, it crosses the R3 over here. And what happens? It just rockets up. Boom. 1,000 rupees in less than a year. So there are few stocks, if you catch it while it's crossing the RSI 50 at the bottom and R3 on top at the same time, the chances of that stock becoming a rocket is very high. All right. The other stock, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. I want to see what's happening with ITC. Hold on. Where is ITC? Okay, ITC is come here. Let's look at Infosys. The first time it crosses this 50% mark is in Jan 2021. It crosses R3 at the same time. This is one of the stocks again from 1200. It goes to 1900. So about 60% return in less than a year. Now you see it's again turning and again trying to cross the 50% mark. There is some news about some, tax evasion and all that. Believe me, once all of that is behind, this stock can go up like a rocket again. Now let's look at ITC. All right, ITC had first crossed this in Jan 2012. When it crossed it, it was at about 130-40 rupees. Then it went up all the way till here to about 250 rupees. So almost doubled. Then it started falling again. Then that whole COVID thing came. But then you see over here, it crosses the 50% mark again over here in Jan 2023, last year. At that time, the stock price was approximately 339 or 340. From there, currently we are at close to 500 rupees, right? Believe me, if this R3 is crossed, this can go up like a rocket. It may consolidate with this. If there's some bad news, it may stay over here for some more time. But once this R3 in Fibonacci is crossed, it can go up like a rocket. What else? I don't know many companies. So let's look at Mahindra. Mahindra and Mahindra. Where is M&M? MRF we already discussed. Okay, M&M. You see it crosses the 50% mark over here in Jan 2023, last year January. The stock price is that time about 1400 rupees. From there it straight shoots up to 3000 rupees, doubles in little over a year. It doubles. This is again one of those fine examples of what happens when this crosses the 50% mark and it crosses the R3 on the Fibonacci pivots. All right, so I guess this video is becoming fairly long now, guys. I don't want to it's already 22 minutes. I didn't want to make such a long video, but anyways, I think you got the point. Basically, use these indicators, work on the Nifty 500 stocks. That means the most powerful 500 stocks on the Nifty. Try to filter out stocks with these indicators and then bring them onto your tracking list and then track them and then wait for them. I'm sure you'll find some gems, waiting for that rocket move to happen. And with that, you can probably exponentially grow in the next 5 to 10 years, where you are making your capital grow like many, many times. All right. So thank you so much for watching. If this video was helpful to you in any form, then please like and subscribe to the channel. Share this video with your family and friends. Please leave a nice comment if possible. Please give the video a thumbs up. That motivates us to make more videos. Also subscribe to our free Telegram channel. The link is given in the description below in all our videos. Thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.